It's Words and Music on Roots Radio. I'm Craig Havighurst sitting in for Jessie Scott today. Very special guest in the studio with us. Pretty exciting. I don't think we've ever had a rock star as big as Melissa Etheridge. Melissa, welcome.
Yay. Thank you very much.
So glad to have you here in for CMA Fest and enjoying the time. Welcome to Nashville. Have you had much history here, people here, musical relationships?
Well, I didn't. I first came to Nashville when I was 26, right before my first album came out. I'd gotten tired of playing in California. I went to California to, make it big and stuff. But I took a little road trip, and in Nashville was a place we stayed because there's a song from my second album called "You Can Sleep While I Drive" that says Barbara in Nashville says we're welcome to stay, and that's my friend Barbara who lived there, and we stayed with her, and that was my first time in Nashville. And then over the years I've come back here. I haven't spent a large amount of time here, and I would like to, and I've seen it grow as everyone has over the last 30 years or so, and it's very exciting. And boy, this CMA Fest is something. You guys know how to pack as much music in as you can into one little weekend.
Yeah. Another thing that's in Nashville now, anyway, is Sun Records. And so glad that you hooked up with a reanimated, revived Sun Records. Mm-hmm. I guess I'll start by asking about that. How did that come into focus for you? What your feelings are about this record label that ties right to the birth of rock and roll?
Right. Sun Records, obviously iconic. I remember the first time I went to Memphis on my very, very first tour. The first place I went was Sun Records, and it was just a place you could walk in, and they would show you, where Elvis and Johnny Cash and everybody sang, and it was just small and iconic. And just a few years ago, my management informed me that Sun Records was back up and running as a functional a record label, and we met with them and I had already recorded Rise, and we brought it in, and the thing that I really enjoy about Sun Records is it's largely female, and they really know how to get it done. They do it with heart and feeling, and they loved this record, and that was the reason that many reasons I wanted to go with Sun, but just how much they loved the record meant so much to me that I knew that they would be behind me and working on this record as much as as I would hope so. So Sun Records, man, they're rocking it with Charlie Crockett, with so many great artists that they have. It's just fantastic.
And you get to see that logo.
On
your record.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's nice. On this new record, you do some looking back. You are there as a tomboy, as a young girl. You are there's a scene of you riding into L.A., seeking your fortune. In general, how's nostalgia working on Melissa Etheridge at the ripe young age, as 65 years young?
65, yes. That's just it. I have lived long enough to have just a super rich memory bank to choose from, and then to also compare to my life now, and then my dreams that I still have. I'm certainly, it's funny, turned 65 because I'm still 30 or something inside, but it's, the writing was actually really delicious for me. I hadn't written a whole album of new material since like 2016, 17. And a lot has happened to me in those 10 years. And there has been a lot of love, a lot of loss. And I knew that that's what I would want to write about and need to write about. And I gave myself the time, gave myself a whole year to just collect it all together. And so happy. I think these songs are some of the best that I've really put together in a while.
Great. You'd written a memoir too in the meantime, that'll fire up the neurons, right? And probably did a little research to make sure everything was. How did that experience color
that?
This?
That is exactly it. I went through the pandemic. All these things happened. I ended up playing my entire catalog on this little on internet show that we did.
Yeah.
And it really got me back into my own catalog and my own material and why I had done it. And it was a real a way to love myself. And after that, I said, you know what, I want to write a book. I think it's time to relax. My son had passed away, and I really needed to just kind of tell my story in a way up to there. And then I went on Broadway and did a one-woman show where I talked about my life. So I spent a good 2, almost 3 years just talking about my life. And I've got that out now. I'm ready to go on and live the rest of it. But this album was the musical soup that came from all of that.
We're not going to go down memory lane all the way, but out of the learning about your past, one thing I did want to ask you about that was just, to me, both charming and cool and very faithful. Your dad was not just the supportive dad of a young aspiring songwriter. He like chaperoned you on tour. Like how far did this go?
Everywhere, because when the opportunities started opening up, when I was 13 when I played in my first band.
Yeah, in a bar.
In a bar, yeah. Chuck Hammersmith and the Wranglers was the name of this. It was a country western. That's what we called it back then. Yeah. Country western band. And, I was playing at Bud and Faye's, the bar down at the end of the city, and my mother was just beside herself. No, you're not, It's funny when my daughter turned 13, I went, oh my God, no. I understand my mom now. But my father said, I will go with her. He went with me to he drove me and went with me to every rehearsal and every show. And from 13 to 17, almost a little bit into my 18, but those years, 4 or 5 years, every weekend we were gone doing something and playing, and I would not be the performer I am today at all if it wasn't for him.
I'm glad he didn't get caught up in the lifestyle totally too and become a honky-tonk refugee or something.
No, the goodness, my father didn't drink.
Yeah,
he
that's
he
so
would
wild.
he'd sit there with a Coke, and he would just watch, and the women would always come up and ask him to dance. He was like, no, I'm her dad, I'm married, and I would always see this. I'd always see them get the nerve up to go ask this lovely man sitting by himself, but he always said no.
That is charming. Also was fascinated by how your timing arriving in L.A., as you said in a documentary that made me go, yeah, that's wild. You landed right as the hair metal was exploding.
Oh, Lordy.
And the music that you had loved and grown up on was out of fashion. Did you just plunge through? Did you find it shaping and did you adapt to that new world a little bit, or how did you handle that?
Well, it was 1982, and I had I grew up in Kansas, and it was all kinds of music in Kansas. We had a real collection of not only country but blues and rock and roll and pop and everything and soul, and I loved it all. And then I went to Berklee College of Music of Boston for just a few months, not long, and spent a couple years there and played, popular songs in the lounges and made a living. But then I knew I wanted to go to Los Angeles, so it was 1982, which was the very beginning of the 80s, was that changing from the 70s to the 80s, and I arrived and said, okay, I'm going to go find a place to play, like I had for years. I had always been able to make a living playing music. And I started calling around, and they're like, no, we don't pay people. You pay us to come play. And I was like, oh, this is going to be hard. And then I was like, well, the Troubadour, all these places that were famous for Jackson Browne and the Eagles and just this kind of acoustic rock, thing, and gone. Just weird hair, this thing called spandex. And so I thought I was going to have to get a real job. But what happened is I went, I'm gay, and I went to a lesbian bar and met some people, and they took me down to a bar in Long Beach. And that bar was brand new, and it had been a steakhouse, and they had a piano in the corner, and I said, do you have entertainment? They said, no, it came with the steakhouse, and it was just sitting there. So I said, well, I could do this. I had my own little sound system, and I auditioned, and they said, hey, yeah, come play 5 nights a week before the disco. And so I then went on for 5, almost 6 years playing in gay bars, and those bars were the ones that started my career, that gave me the opportunity to live and write and work and just do music. And I'm so grateful for that.
It grew from a passive audience to an audience that was coming to see you.
That's
and you built your
exactly
fan
it.
base.
Nothing like feeling that. And it
Yeah.
was wonderful, and it was so supportive and so grateful. Very alternative. It took a long time for record companies to find me.
Yeah.
But, they finally did.
They did indeed. Well, we're going to hear some music and set up. Alive is a song that's been out and cycling and really wonderful tune. Set that up and let's hear it.
Well, Being Alive, being 65, having lived this life, having felt the joys, the pains, sorrow, loss, desire, hope, all of those things, and just gone up and down many times in my life. And realizing as I was actually starting to write a song, I literally just sat down and went, I was born in a Midwest town, and I thought, isn't that, every song sounds like that. And then I just went on and, but I chose to survive, and I went, God, I love being alive. I love it. I love it. I'll take the ups and downs. There's just nothing like the juice of being alive. Hey, I'm Melissa Etheridge. I got a couple songs from my new album, Rise. The first one is the opening track. It's called Bein' Alive. Well, I was born in a Midwest town, looking for some trouble. I was California bound. I knew I could find one or two. She would take me for a ride, screaming down the road with the devil inside. I knew it was just a drive-through, drinking all the poison, soaking up the sun. I didn't really like her, but I thought it was love for a while. Then I was turned to days, and it all blew away, and I chose to survive. God, I love being alive. Gathered the pain in a paper cup, and I stood in the rain just to fill it up. Some days felt like anyway. Job in the Bible got nothing on me. The more that I cried, the more I could see. Some days felt like anyway. And then there were times I was down on my knees, saying this is gonna break me, this is gonna bleed for a while. Then I was turned to days, and it all blew away, and I chose to survive. Oh God, I love being alive. Sacred right. Gotta love being alive. Gotta love being alive. Gotta love being alive. The second song I would like to do from the album Rise is the title track to the album. So it's called Rise. There's a raven outside my window, trying hard to fly against the wind. There's a voice deep down inside me saying, let it go, let it in. You're gonna fall to the earth sometimes. You're gonna taste the dirt sometimes. Then you're gonna rise. There's a shelf inside my house where the ashes of the anger hide. There's a voice deep down inside me says it's time to change the story of my pride. You're gonna fall to the earth sometime. You're gonna taste the dirt sometimes. Then you're gonna rise. Oh, you're gonna rise. Why is it so damn easy to make it so damn hard? Well, there's a hope I dare not speak. Frustrating, most people find. You don't need to change to set me free, 'cause I am always free to change my mind. You're gonna fall to the earth sometime. You're gonna taste the dirt sometime. Oh, you're gonna really hurt sometimes. You're gonna feel just like you're dying. Then you're gonna rise. Hey, you're gonna rise. Hey, rise up. Yeah, come on, rise up. Oh, yeah, rise up. Here's a song from a while ago, one that has done me well, one that I almost didn't put on my fourth record. would dial the numbers just to listen to your breath. I would stand inside my hell and hold the hand of death. You don't know how far I'd go to ease this precious ache. You don't know how much I'd give or how much I can take just to reach you, just to reach you. Oh, to reach you. Oh, come to my window, crawl inside, wait by the light of the moon. Come to my window, I'll be home soon. Keeping my eyes open, I cannot afford to sleep. Giving away promises I know that I can't keep. Nothing fills the blackness, oh, that has seeped into my chest. I need you in my blood and I am forsaking all the rest. Just to reach you, just to reach you. Oh, to reach you. Oh, come to my window, crawl inside, wait by the light of the moon. Come to my window, I'll be home soon. Keeping my eyes open, I cannot afford to sleep. Giving away promises I know that I can't keep. Nothing fills the blackness that has seeped into my chest, and I need you in my blood. I am forsaking all the rest. Just to reach you, just to reach you. Oh, to reach you. Oh, come to my window, hey, crawl inside, wait by the light of the moon. Come to my window, I'll be home soon. Hey. I don't care what they think. I don't care what they say. What do they know about this love? Come to my window, I'll be home, I'll be home, I'll be home, I am. I'm coming home. Come to my window, ooh, crawl inside, wait by the light of the moon. Come to my window, I'll be home soon. Yeah, I am coming home.
Well, I have not heard "Come to My Window" in quite a long time, and to hear it here, sitting in front of you, was fantastic. That's wild. I never dreamed that would happen.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
You made a remark that you almost didn't include it on the record.
What do I know? Yes, I had I'd made my fourth album, and Chris Blackwell, he's the guy who signed me to Island Records. He's the owner. He signed Bob Marley and U2. He's just a musical, king. Yeah. And he wanted me to make this record. He wanted to break me big time, and fortunately, it did happen. So I had recorded all the songs, and "Come to My Window" was just, I didn't think people would understand it. I didn't think people. I thought it was just kind of a middle of the road song. What do I know? And I remember I was playing the songs, and I was trying to decide. I had to cut one. I really wanted to. I wanted it to just be 10 songs. And I told a friend of mine who was riding around, I was playing it for him for the first time. I said, I think I'm going to cut that song. And he looked at me and goes, are you crazy? That's the greatest. He just went on and on and went, okay, well, nobody's been that enthusiastic about any of the songs, so I'll keep it. And thank you, Joel. I appreciate it.
No, I love that. Well, before we talk about this new record, one more question about the wake of that. That's when you go sort of supernova, that album. Yeah. And I was just curious how you, talking here to a very down-to-earth person from Kansas, how did you process fame? How did you deal with it? What flavor was your fame? How did you manage your time, your energy, your exposure?
Well, I tell you, my fame came very slowly and evenly. I never had that overnight thing. And because I had played in bars, I had seen everything. I've had everything happen to me on stage that can possibly happen. And going through that and then playing, and then when my first album came out, I just started playing in bars and clubs again. I was just playing original music. And then it took, Yes, I Am was my 4th album. And so it slowly opened up. And so little by little, I'd have someone recognize me, someone here or there. But, and then when Yes, I Am hit, the song Come to My Window had the distinction of being the song that was on the charts the longest. And the songs even took a really long time. It took a whole year for Come to My Window to kind of make it anywhere. So I never had a number one album or song. I just had songs that slowly have seeped into, the consciousness, the music world consciousness. And so I still have a hard time. Sometimes my wife will laugh because we'll walk into a restaurant and I'll go, what's everybody looking at? And she'll go, you. And I'm like, oh, sorry. So it's still not like a big thing to me. I'm still very much who I am. But I do, I do appreciate the fans. And like I tell people, don't worry about me. People just want to have dinner with me. That's all.
Well, I can tell even just a performance here to a small little audience here in the studio, the way you make eye contact, the way you, and just between your songs and your relatability, the way you actually see your audience and let them be seen, it feels like the secret sauce.
That's what I used to play at Bud and Faye's and go, someday someone will be coming here just to see me, and to have that experience for so long, it just makes the gratitude just richer and deeper,
Wonderful. Well, how'd you connect with Shooter Jennings? It does sound like the exactly the right guy for this project. He'd worked with Tanya Tucker, a wonderful project with her, and we know so many others, but how did you have chemistry?
Well, the chemistry was huge there. He and I are just from the same cloth for sure. It was my management, actually. I said, I need a producer who understands rock and roll. I want to be a little bit more country rock, sort of California country rock. I was kind of aiming to settle into the songs. I didn't want it to be musically anything. I wanted it to be about the songs. And my manager, Deb Klein, she said, I think we should meet with Shooter Jennings. And I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of perfect. Met with him 15 minutes, fell in love. Love he's in LA, which was great because I'm in LA. Yep. And he was there at Sunset Sound, historic studio. Prince, Purple Rain, the piano's still there, the whole thing. And it was just such a great experience. He loves music, and he is a producer that let me and my band, who had been playing together forever, let us do our thing and have our sound. Yeah. And he would only if asked, or if he really felt strong about something, to suggest anything. But he caught what we did, and he just did it in such a great great way.
You said it had been a minute since you'd done a studio record. Did something feel different at this point with this batch of songs and your mission to touch your countryside?
Yeah, I felt different. I felt like I wasn't reaching for something anymore. I felt like I was finding it inside myself and presenting it and making a record that even if I sold 10 copies, I'd still be happy and excited about it because it was exactly what I wanted. It was me. It was where I am right now. And I have been listening to it for over a year now, and I'll put it on the bus. I'll do a show, and I'll get in my bunk, and I'll go, I want to listen to my record, and I'll put it on, and that's a fun experience.
Chris Stapleton makes an appearance. That's a fantastic duet. Really great cut. How did that come to pass?
That came to pass because I said it's time for me to do a duet. I'm not really, I was on Dolly's album. That was her calling me. That was her song. So, but I thought, I think it's time because this is something people do nowadays. They do a lot of duets. And I said, I'd love to perform with somebody. And he was just the first thought. I don't know him. I didn't know him. I didn't have any connections. And once again, I called my management. I said, really, I want to see if Chris Stapleton would write something with me. First, I just said, look, let's write a song together. And so we found time that I was going to be in Nashville. He was there. It was a perfect time. We met. What a incredibly soulful, sweet, creative human being he is. He's just very, very talented. And I just met him. We sat down, put our guitars on. We were talking, just shooting it about, family and stuff. And he said, oh, you're married and I have 5 children. I was like, oh, wow. And we, talked about children. He asked me, how many, do you have children? I said, yes. I said, I had 4. I have 3 now. I lost 1 to an opioid addiction, and he was very sensitive, and he says, oh, I'm very sorry. I said, no. My son, he was my greatest teacher. And that's when he looked at me and said, oh, Melissa, you talk in song. And that's the first line and the last line of the song. We started writing, he started singing, sometimes I listen when she talks in song. And then we went on to create a song that is about loss and love and is very hopeful. And it's just one of my favorite things I've ever created. And I created it with him. And I told him, I said, Chris, I really think the world would like to hear the 2 of us together. And so I went and recorded it and recorded my part, and he recorded his. And I'm so grateful. I love it, and I really hope that the world gets to hear this song a lot.
He really does transcend that country, rock and roll, soul kind of thing, the essence of Americana, if you will. And you've had a similar effect, but I've always been a little surprised that you were not more directly attached to that 90s singer-songwriter boom. You are a singer-songwriter who just turns the rock up in your show, as my sort of theory in the end about it. Is that fair is that a good way to think about it?
Absolutely. It's so funny because I'll have people come up and go, oh, I loved your set at Lilith Fair. And I'll go, I wasn't there. And then, yes, I swear I wasn't there. And it's funny. I've always been on the outside. Even alternative music, I thought, oh, I'm gay. Certainly I'll be an alternative. No, I've just been on the outside of everything, which after 40 years, I'm okay with that. It's great.
Well, you did recently get nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The first time, but it's going to happen again.
I hear it takes a few times. Sometimes. That's fine.
As we go, there's a little legacy to ponder. I think I'm pretty confident it's going to happen.
It's a lovely thought. It's a funny thing, and it's a funny thing to have people vote on it. They have an impossible task because, what is rock and roll? Rock and roll is everything. So it's kind of, I think rock and roll is a state of mind more than a state of music. But I tend to say I'm rock and roll. I'll stay in that lane and just make the music I make.
Great attitude. Melissa Etheridge, thanks for the time. Good to have you here on Words and Music.
Thank you so much.